Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Let's Talk LOL for Copenhagen Wolves. Today, I am joined by Sascha Ackerman from Super Hot Crew, Joe InnerFlame Eluwasi, I hope that's right.
Nearly.
Yeah,
Yeah, nearly.
okay. From SK Gaming, SK Prime's manager, and Thomas Schmatfred Kunzel, which is the Copenhagen Wolves manager. Hi, guys, how you doing?
I'm
Fine,
fine.
thank you.
I'm good.
Great. So, let's start with Sascha. If we go across the board, we can introduce ourselves and let everyone know what we do. Because as managers, you're kind of in the back. No one really knows who you are.
Well, firstly about me, as you said, I'm working for the Super Hot Crew. I'm acting as CEO. So I'm actually behind the team. I'm managing the sponsorships, PR, commercials, just everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it. Joe?
Me next. Okay. I manage SK Prime. Yes, that's the Coke Zero team, not the LCS team. I do similar stuff, but not anything to do with sponsorship. More just team related. Mostly scheduling and kind of admin stuff. So
And last but not least, Thomas.
Yeah, I'm managing the Wolves since like July, and yeah, at the moment I do like booking apartments, looking for houses and stuff like that. So they're getting local.
Okay, so let's talk about the last week that we all experienced. Tell us a bit about what managing is like. Because here we have 2 LCS managers and 1 Coke Zero manager, so the difference in managing will be, well, very different. So, what's a week like? What's an LCS week like for you, Sascha?
An LCS week. What do you mean, especially?
Like, what do? You wake up, you get the players up, you take them out, or do you just let them do whatever they want?
Well, actually, just Michael is gonna doing this. I'm just responsible for the stuff, and I'm just coordinating the homepage. I cannot say really what the players are doing because it's Michael's job. He's standing for the team management. He's just caring about the team. Maybe you should ask someone else.
Okay, Tom, considering you're another LCS manager, how's that going?
Yeah, I'm not with the team because they live almost all except Kauta because he's traveling every week. They live in Cologne, so my job is to get them ready that they go to the studio so they can train, then check when they have to play so they get picked up on game days. Yeah, stuff like that. And if they have problems like money problems and stuff like that, they come to me and I fix that.
So, will you be staying with them in the future, or no?
No, I won't because I have a job and I will follow
Okay.
the job.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, so InnerFlame, talking about SK Gaming, the Coke Zero team, you guys got picked up by SK.
yeah.
Fairly big, fairly new. Uh, what's it like?
Really good. Really responsive. More responsive than anything I've had before. To be honest, like
Yeah.
it's just you send an email and a day later you've got your answer. So it's really great.
Brilliant. So how is the Coke Zero League going?
Well, now, not, well, you could say we did pretty well. We got to the last 8, which is obviously where you need to be. Well, top 3 is really, really where you need to be for promotion slots, but top 8 is where you get money, of course. And we got to the last 8, but we drew nip in that round, and we lost 2-1.
Okay, so who would you say is, well, who would you say is a hard team to go against?
In Challenger at the
Yeah,
moment. I'd say there's like no disrespect to anyone
No, of
saying
course,
this,
of course.
but I'd say there are about 6 teams at the moment, and obviously some are kind of better than each other. But I'd say the top 6 at the moment, like in no particular order, is Nip, Cloud9, us, Pulse Esports, the Fox Sound, and who am I missing? I'm missing one.
Come on, you have to know that.
Oh my gosh, wait. Carry on. It just.
Countdown.
Wait,
no
it will come to
problem.
me. Wait, yeah.
Okay, alright, so, I don't know if, Sasha, you could answer this a bit, but
We're gonna have a try.
the LCS, it's kind of like that right now for Super Hot Crew. How do you think that it was expected for them to perform like this, or do you think it's gonna improve, or it might just be the same throughout?
Well, for the beginning, because of had a little bit more strugglings than any other team. For example, we had a really late qualify. Of course, we are happy to be now in the LCS, but now we got really big responsibilities. We have to train hard now to get back on the level, and I think personally we are definitely on the same level as others. Of course, we are currently now on the last rank, but I think, as you just saw last season with Lemondogs and Nip, the first week and second week, they were also at the bottom, and everything is possible. So yeah, of course we're trying, and we also had like really tough opponents. We had good opponents, but that's no excuse. We will just let's see what is gonna happen now with week 3. But I'm really confident that we can secure ourselves a really good spot.
Okay, that's great. And Thomas, the first week Copenhagen Wolves were really good, really strong. The second week, it kind of backed
It
down
was
a
good
bit.
too.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was good. It was good, but I think there was one game where I think it was against Alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That was surprising. That was surprising. But in that kind of case, like, are you there for the teams? Are you there with them at like when they're playing?
I'm not every week there. I'm like every second week there. I travel, for example, this weekend
Yeah.
to them. So I wasn't there yet last week, but there was some misunderstanding with the picks. So
Oh, okay.
was some mispicks,
Well-
and then that's fucked up the team fights. So
Okay. So my question was is when you are there with them and they lose in such a way, the morale is down, they're really sad. Do you think it's your job then to make them happy? Like, get the morale back up, boost them up, and say, "Don't worry, like, that's just one game." You
of
know,
course, I guess everyone does that. So
how do you do that? How do you do that? If it's a game where it's so close to win, and losing like that will be just heartbreaking, pretty much, for some of these players.
for example,
how do you go
at
about doing that?
At week 1, we talked about every game after every game. Talked about the mistakes we did and stuff like that. And then we went to eat, so everyone got a better feeling, got free mind, catch up some fresh air, and yeah. And that works.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
It's the secret to managing a team. Give them food.
Maybe. Yeah.
They all like food. A question that's in the chat right now to you, InnerFlame, is how are you going to handle if you reach promo slot? If I'm correct, it's not allowed for an organization to have two LCS teams, two teams in the LCS.
Yeah. Actually, Alex Muller shed some light on this before. It was a question asked straight away, as like obviously people would have thought us both being SK Gaming. If we do get to promos, obviously SK Gaming can't have two teams in LCS. That's how it is. So Alex said, come the time, if it happens, which we are confident it will, he's going to have to make a decision in which team he's going to take.
Okay, so he'll just replace one team with the other. And
it won't be really replacing. It will be. He has to keep one team. It's the rule. It's no. You can't. Well, you can't really do that.
Because
like,
if you replace a team with another one, you still have that one space gap in the LCS essentially.
Yeah.
Because if they're both in the LCS and one comes up and you say, right, well, just replace this one with this one, there's still that gap where one would have taken the LCS. So does that mean that
Well, all of my team are like already subs for the main
Oh, okay.
team, you know. So,
Yeah.
but not everyone in my team is 17 yet. Obviously, you need to even in Coke Zero, you need to have three out of five, which are 17. So, two of my players are 16. So the other three are subs for the main team, and obviously they could go in and out of the main roster any point now, even. Up to two, of course.
Hmm.
But if we both qualified, SK would have to um, terminate like one of the team's contracts, you know,
Is
if
that
we were both in.
okay? Or would you just
Well,
move
we can't, we
branches
can't,
off or
we
something
can't,
else?
we can't say that
Okay.
yet
Okay.
because we haven't got to it yet.
Of course. Of course. Stuff. NDA. Can't say
Yeah,
stuff.
well, no, it's not. It's not even.
Secrets.
It's not even NDA.
Yeah.
It's just we haven't
You have to wait for
got
it to
to.
happen.
We have
Yeah.
to actually get there before we even decide to consider it.
No. That's a fair assumption. Okay. So, talking a bit about the LCS. Right now, Fnatic going 5-0 and Roccat going 5-1. Quite surprising, I would say. What do you guys think of those the top two teams right now? Were you surprised that Roccat are doing so well? Or
I mean, you couldn't compare over the last months because there was no possibility to see Fnatic and Rocket perform officially anywhere, I think. So for me personally, of course it's surprising, but I knew that Rocket will be perform really good, and I'm actually not surprised that they are standing now at second place.
very strong. Look,
Yeah.
Oh.
Fnatic,
hella strong.
you don't have to talk about Fnatic. They're always strong. Anytime, anywhere. It's, you just don't have to talk about this.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll just leave that. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember. Did they perform? They performed okay last season during the LCS. I mean, they weren't. Were they?
I mean,
No.
what was the aim last year at the LCS? The aim was to get in the playoffs, and they managed it to get into the playoffs. That's the aim.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Anyways, apart from that, Joe, could you say anything about the LCS team? Like, you know, they had a very rough start. A very rough start with surprising.
Well, actually, the first week wasn't too bad, was it? Was it 2-0 in Super League?
Was it?
I think it was 2-0 in the first week. I think it was last week they didn't do too well.
So
I think it's about execution, really. Like, there's some issues with execution within the team. Like, I mean, in-game execution, like finishing off a game when they're ahead.
do you what's it called? Do you liaison with them? Do you talk with them after every game, or is that just not?
Actually, like at the moment, I mean, obviously we're still kind of fresh in SK Gaming as well, so it's more like we've still got a lot of stuff to do within SK before we even like start, you know, talking, interacting with the main team. We haven't scrimmed them yet, even we haven't even scrimmed yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's another point. How scrims wise, right? I know we had one person on a show who's very notorious of giving away scrim what's it called?
Information.
Information. But by looking at the scrims that you know, you probably watch them, do any teams look like they're surprisingly strong after their recent performances in any sort of tournament?
Surprisingly strong, no. But as strong as they look at the moment, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So then how do you think your team fits into that? Do you think you have a really good chance, or?
Well, you can't base everything off scrims, but all I can say is we have a positive win ratio against I think every LCS team we've played so far, except for one.
Okay, that's fine. Thomas.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh God, I had it in my head. Hold on, let me think. Sorry, it was something about Young Buck. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Young Buck. You said Young Buck is traveling every day.
No, it's Kauta.
Is it Kautar? Sorry, Kautar
Yeah.
is traveling every day. So he
No,
doesn't
every week.
every
So
week.
he
Okay.
travels on Wednesday and
Yeah.
travels back on Saturday.
Okay. So, what? He doesn't have a lot of time with the team other than the LCS, if I'm right saying.
Mm, that's not a big problem. I guess he's traveling like 2 hours. He has a fly like 2 hours. So on Wednesday, he wakes up, travel to the airport, fly to Cologne, and then he's with the team. So it's not much time, which we lose.
Okay. So, but do you think it's important for the teams to be together to synergize well?
I guess yes, but for example, he has a girlfriend at home and a dog, so
Dog
it's
is
a bit
important.
hard for him. So to leave, so he travels home every week.
Okay. Now, for one of my shows, I wanted to get NA hosts, NA players on and talk about the NA scene because this is a Copenhagen Wolves EU LCS EU side of everything. Now, because I didn't have any, but we can still talk about them. We can still talk about the NA side. What do you guys think of the NA teams right now and the NA Challenger teams? If you've been keeping on track with that.
For me, I don't have a clue about the challenger teams. I didn't watch that, but LCS is quite good because, for example, like the Dignitas game versus Cloud9, I was very impressed about them, and yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll talk. I think Dignitas, like I don't think there's anyone who's not surprised about Dignitas. Like they just suddenly exploded. Like they beat Cloud9 quite convincingly, didn't they? And as far as Challenger goes, like well, there's obviously a lot of hype around LMQ. And a team which does like decently well in China is playing Challenger and not having a problem. So that's not so surprising. It's just whether they can make the step up to LCS as well. I am not so sure that there's that much of a difference between top end Challenger in NA and lower end LCS in NA either. So I think it's about whether they could beat like Dignitas, Cloud9, TSM type teams.
Yeah, no, Dignitas. Everyone saw them before the LCS in the Bota thing, and they lost horrifically to Alliance. And everyone suddenly went on this massive Alliance hype and was like, yeah, oh my god, Alliance, best team, super team, everything. And now, as the season starts, Alliance suddenly don't do as well as they thought they would, and as well as everyone else thought they would. But then Dignitas suddenly kind of step up their game and does everything. Alliance to you guys, do you think it was overhyped? Do you think it was just like
No, go ahead.
no, yeah, that's literally it. Like Alliance, do you think it was overhyped? Do you think it was just really unintentionally, oh my god, super team, everyone's gonna go crazy about this team will be amazing, and then suddenly they're not actually great?
I wouldn't say, like, I could say overhyped, but not that they're not like a great team. I think especially now, like the first week, obviously they weren't playing well, and especially recently, they've really stepped it up. So yeah, I think now, like I couldn't say, oh, they're definitely the best team now, and they're going to make an epic comeback. But I think now they're kind of they're still a young
Yeah.
team, like.
Yeah, I mean they got
I mean,
everything.
yeah.
They got good players, and everything is possible. But of course, for me personally, they also were a little bit overhyped. But yeah, you see what can be happen in LCS. Just everything.
Yeah, and anything can happen.
Yeah.
A question in the chat, Sasha, for you is, how is it to build up an org like Super Hot Crew being directly into LCS without any sponsors? Because I was around when they were trying to qualify, and someone posted in the chat that they actually have decided to make Super Hot Crew a brand instead of doing what KMT did, which is being picked up by a sponsor. So now they're called Rockat.
Yeah, of course, the team also had the possibility to go to any esports club they ever wanted. Of course, they got some offers, but they had one unique thing. They could brand themselves. They could make their own name public in esports, and that's something unique. Of course, you can get then sponsors. We definitely will announce some sponsors now, such as Cooler Master CM Storm. We granted today a partnership,
Mhm.
and yeah, hopefully more will follow. And yeah, it's really, really unique to grant something else. And of course, it's hard, but when you reach the point and you get over it, it can be really, really good. I mean, you saw it what happened with Ocelot. He also branded himself totally, yeah, with
Yeah.
Ocelot World. So you got a lot of space, a lot of free ideas. Maybe you can, you can do compared if you're at any organization.
Yeah. Okay. Now we've talked a bit about the teams quite a bit. I now want to move on to your roles in your organization. So we've talked a bit about what managing is like, but as being someone who was a manager of a team, I know how stressful it can get and how hard it can be at sometimes. What are some of the difficulties that you guys like encounter every day, or some unusual ones that you've encountered? You know, you're like, oh, really? Come on.
I mean, I don't know who wants to start.
You can.
Yep.
Thomas, go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess being in time for scrims is a big problem in many teams because some like sleeping the whole day. um, but other stuff is like okay for me. It's not a big problem.
Um, yeah, on that point, like when everyone's together, like if you're boot camping just before LAN, or even like to an extent LCS, if everyone's together, then it's quite easy to just have everyone there, and unless they've all gone away together. But yeah, lateness is a problem generally, and I think the downfall to all teams is like when you start losing to, as you call, like supposedly random players in ranked as well. Like it happens to every team, and it's about overcoming small stuff like that that causes a lot of friction within the team, and that's like the downfall to a lot of teams.
Yeah. A question that also came in in the chat to Thomas is when Reckless left, there was a gap in the team. A great player leaving the team. He was only a sub at the time. What do you do to find a replacement? Do you just wait, or do you let the players choose, or do you have like a list of really good players, and you're like, okay, so when it's a very good headset, guys. It's a very good headset. So,
Of course it is. I'm wearing it. I had part.
is that your new sponsor that's coming in?
Yeah, you can guess who it is.
Yeah,
It is.
that's a really good guess. So yeah, anyways,
Be serious.
back to the question. So when a player leaves, what's the process that you go through to find a new player? A player that can hopefully perform on the same level, if not better?
For us, I have an agreement with Youngbuck because he's a team captain and he knows what he needs for the team, and he has more contacts to other players. So he's searching for other players. For example, like when Reckless left, they were testing out some, for example, a young guy from Denmark, like picking up players from the solo queue ladder or like people they know. And for example, at Shook, um, uh, we picked Amazing first because we know him since January from the LCS qualifier from last year. And me and Youngmark were mouse at this time, and Shook was banned, so we tried to get Amazing because Acer didn't qualify. So, but we didn't came together at that point, and after Shook left, we asked Amazing again, and then he agreed on that, and then he joined the team.
So that's how it worked.
So it's like a bit of on contacts or your ranking on solo queue.
Okay, so I would have thought it was just you would leave it to the players, which is, yeah, that's pretty much what you do. But what if, right? It's just a what if. What if that player doesn't perform in the first, let's say, would you give a trial period for that time, or would you just say, yeah, sure, you're in the team? But then what if he doesn't perform as well? What's the action that you do?
We give them time to, maybe if they have a bad week or bad 2 weeks, and we give them time. Like, for example, I guess Super Hot Crew, they don't disband players now too because they performed not that well after 2 weeks. They let them play and getting together and fixing their problems. But after, like, if you don't see that they move on and get better, then you have to make a call and say, hey, we can't do that, so we must do something against that.
Okay, right. Now, this next question. It is called Let's Talk. We can talk about anything. But, like I said, I didn't actually say this, but if you feel uncomfortable answering any question, just say so and we can move on. But this next question that has come in, and it's a good one. It's a good one. It's to you, Sascha. Which is, yeah, are you still related to MYM? And if so, are we going to see Super Hot Crew in MYM soon?
No, of course not. As you all know, I was working for MYM. Still a few people are helping me because it's like really, really hard to do so much and handle departments like public relations, team management, sponsors, and Sebastian is a really old good friend for me at the time as I have been working at Düsseldorf. He was nearly every day at my place, and he's helping me a lot. Yeah. But Super Hot Crew is a definitely unique thing.
So, yeah, I'm gonna say that you have no ties to MYM.
No, of course, just for friendship-wise and helping me a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Then I thought you'd be very inclined not to answer that question, but thank you so much for answering that one. Right. Okay. What are you guys? So it's just kind of moving on. What's the next week hold in store for all of you? So you have the LCS, you have the Coke League, but what else? What else is there? Joe?
Sorry, yeah. Bad moment. We have a tournament called the Face It Invitational on Saturday. Who are we playing in the first round? Ocelot's team. Yeah, and that's the other team that I wanted to say in the kind of the top 6 or so. We play Ocelot's team again. Like, we obviously already played them in Coke Zero, and we won. But we're going to be playing best of 3 this time against them, and if we beat them, then we play the winner of Cloud9's game, and I am not sure, but I think they're against Reason. Hear me?
Looks like Sasha's writing something very important. Is he gonna start
Yeah,
writing?
I will just show you in a moment.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like asking the LCS guys what else they'll be doing except for LCS
Yeah.
is like.
Okay.
It's like exclusivity to LCS, isn't it? It's like
Yeah, it is.
it's
Okay.
LCS
Okay.
only.
And for us, it's only searching for houses at the moment.
Oh yeah.
It's nothing special. We just talk with an owner of a house, and yeah.
That's great. Nice drawing.
What was it? My camera was fucked up, so
Okay, so how
See it again.
I can't see it.
Oh,
No.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's so cute.
Mr. Rotterdam.
Okay, so you mentioned houses. That's been going very hard. That's very difficult. I can understand. What's the process of searching a house, and what would you say like your budget is? Do you get given a budget, or is it just anything?
We get a budget from Riot, but I won't say the amount.
I know you're not allowed to say that. It's fine. You're not allowed to say that. That's okay. That's understandable.
And then it's hard to find houses. For example, you have to ask how long is the rent time for a house, because most likely it's like 1 year or 2 years. But for example, you like lose in the spring split and you got kicked out of the LCS, and then you're there with a house and no one uses that, or you can't pay that. And so you have to ask like, what's the time to rent it? Then you have to check if internet is available there and how much. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff to ask, and then you check like 100 houses, and then at the end you have like 4.
So how many have you checked? Have you checked around 100, more than 100, or just below?
I guess it was like 50, and we visited at Super Week. We visited like 5 houses, and we got one favorite, and we are talking with the owner at the moment.
That's great. Now,
by the way, same problem happened for us.
Same problem.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'd like to expand as well. No, carry on. Sorry, I interrupted.
I spent like 5 hours one day spectating them and screening the monitor, just searching for a house. It was not even Cologne. I had to search in Dorfbach and so on. And there's actually in Germany, there's a solution. There are possibilities that you can rent houses or apartments for a certain amount of month. But the problem with this is you need 5 rooms, and you don't find anywhere 5 rooms or 6 rooms. That's not possible. And when you find it, there mostly the owners of this house or this apartment only want to have families with children.
Yeah,
that's so hard. That makes it so hard, and you cannot expect how long you stay in LCS, and yeah, it's also a huge risk for us organizations.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's.
I don't want to say that LCS searching a house there. I mean, you get money, but if you cannot use this money, if you don't get any house, it makes no sense. And flight costs are more cheaper. I mean, more expensive than, of course, the house. And even for us, it was like really, really hard because we came back in LCS so late. I mean, we lost a few weeks, and yeah.
Yeah, Joe, you wanted to say?
Yeah, well, that was kind of the point I wanted to expand on. Like, when you look at it from owner's perspective, like they see, oh, we've got like 5 or 6 kind of young people like moving into my house, but I'm not so comfortable. Can they look after it? You know, if there's no, like, I'm 20 next month. You know, I'm no older than the players. Why do the owners have more of a reason to trust me? You know, or even someone in like they're kind of late 20s. Yeah, well, exactly. Like they think you're just gonna trash the house. Exactly. And obviously, like your average person doesn't really understand esports, so explaining it to them can also be a bit. They don't need to know exactly, but uh, making it all believable to an owner is quite hard.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's completely
But on the other side, you have contracts, so you can you tell them like we can sign that we leave the house clean, like it's white walls and stuff like that, and that's a yeah, but I don't trust that, and yeah.
I had there one property, and there was like a 7 meter advertisement in front of the house. And if a big advertisement like this is standing in front of the house, it means nobody cares about this. I don't, no one want to have it. And well, the owner still said, no, you cannot have it. But I leave it and I don't get money. So it's so crazy.
You're not gonna get anyone else that wants the house.
Yeah.
They think the players will scream and stuff like that, because at the one house, the realtor, that he said like he knows the owner of SK, and will they scream all the time because he saw it on stage one time? I was like, no, that's Counter-Strike, that's not League of Legends. They don't scream that much. So it's quiet, and yeah.
It's not the audience in front of.
Yeah.
It's just the vibe.
Do you have to explain to the owners if they don't know like what the LCS is and they're like really curious why you want the house? Do you have to explain like, yeah, these people, they play video games professionally? Like,
Yeah.
do you have
They
to do
want to like that. Oh, you can earn money on that.
that? Is that the reaction? Or they're like, lol.
Yeah, most of them.
The first action you get.
That's the first reaction. You can actually get
Yeah.
money from playing video games.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Now, second question: how much?
How much?
Yeah.
I'll quit my job. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
that's third reaction. No, I'm not joking.
Wow. Yeah, let me manage the team.
How I can get pro gamer?
Oh god.
It's the question afterwards.
Buy an account on eBay and then let's go.
Another thing, this was a very controversial topic that came up last year, which was comparing gaming houses in the western side of the world to the eastern side. Now you can probably tell where this is going to be going. If you look at the Korean and typically the Asian gaming houses, they're apartments pretty much. They're tiny. They have like no room because all players are going to do is just play video games and sit on their chair. So there's no point, wasting money to pay for all that space that isn't going to be used. Now, I presume, like a lot of gaming houses, they have a lot of space. They have a lot of space just for you to be your own person. And the houses that you'll all be getting will be the same. But what do you think of that argument that, they're playing video games? They don't need that space. So let's just cram 5 people into, like, a 2-bedroom house and let them share everything.
Like, it's a cultural difference as well. Like everything's built upwards in Asia, it's all built like a lot of people live in apartments their whole life there, that's normal. Like here and in the States, like especially in the States, the houses are bigger and people want to have their kind of freedom and space.
But
and I think that's it mainly. Like being in a small apartment is more normal for them,
But do you think that if you introduce this to the Western side, they'll complain a bit, but if you just say, look, you don't need the space, all you're going to be doing is playing video games, so just play and practice, do you think that has a negative or a positive effect on their performance in the LCS and the Coke League, or in just general as a player?
Well, obviously you want players to be as comfortable as possible, but there's only so much money you can have to make them comfortable, so...
Yeah, let's buy a mansion. Like, Curse Gaming.
Again, like in the States, the amount you are going to pay in Europe for... Like, if you pay the same amount you pay for X property in Europe, you're going to most likely get a bigger one, depending on where it is in the States as well. Because, in general, houses are bigger there. for the price.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Tom? Sasha, do you have anything to say on the whole smaller house makes better gamers, or do you agree with that?
No, everyone needs his free time, like getting laid down, chill, so no one bothers you.
Yeah.
That's a big point. For example, we had like small apartments in the city of Cologne, and like bigger ones outside of Cologne, and the players wanted the big one because they want their free time. They don't want to stick around with the players all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in this kind, you link working and private life. You
Yeah.
work and live with your teammates, and you definitely need then some time off. And it's, of course, you have to search then a place where everyone has its own room. Yeah, that's the main thing. If you work now, for example, let's say at Audi, yeah, you work 9 hours a day with your colleagues, and you don't see them at the weekend or after your working day. But with the teammates, you see them 24 hours, and you definitely need then some time off to
Yeah.
just chill and relax.
Okay. So that's the gaming house is done. I want to move on to another topic. Someone asked a question, which for all of us, it actually comes in because I did a bit of managing myself back in the day, quite a while ago. Um, but you guys are still doing it. You guys have had more experience than me. As per your teams are, God knows, doing well, earning money. How do you get into managing? Where did you start off? How how did you end up in the position that you're in now, managing very good teams? Let's say that very good teams. How did you end up from from 2 years ago to where you are now? Joe, you're smiling. It looks like you have a great story to tell.
Well,
Let's go.
yeah, in a way, like it's a bit nostalgic, but actually, he's in the chat at the moment, and he plays for Super Hot Crew. I was in this community, this like little gaming community. I just kind of quit playing WoW at this time, and like I kind of shifted over, and obviously the LoL forums was the kind of hub for where everything was. So
Yeah.
I joined this little community, and it started getting, you know, kind of big. And then there were different teams within the community, and actually one of the teams had Mr. Rales at about 1900 elo at this point. Yeah, and then just they had a manager at the time who wasn't really doing that much for them, so I suggested things that I could do better, and then in the end they said, okay, we'll take you as manager. And it kind of snowballed from there, from organization to organization. I was a bit lucky with my first team being really successful. Like, it came from nothing. Obviously finding a player like Mr. Alice at 1900 elo, and finding other players like also like actually at first we had two managers of the team as well. Another guy who works in esports as well.
Yeah. So you went from organization to organization. Did you stick with Mr. Rallis throughout the whole thing until
Well,
recently? Or was it kind of like
nearly a year.
nearly a year?
Nearly a year.
Yeah.
And he was 15 odd at this point.
I think the most dangerous thing about that.
Maybe not even. Maybe not that. Maybe 9 months or so. Like something.
I think the most dangerous thing about that is the fact that when a team does so well, everyone thinks it's a team, and they want to pick up the team to a very good organization, and then they get some random person to come and manage that. When, let's say you, for instance, you are a manager, and they just say, "Yeah, sorry, no," but it's all about making your way up, which is a very hard thing to do. Sasha, what about yourself? How did you become? Well, how did you become CEO of Hot Crew?
Of course, I started from making hobby into business. I started playing Battlefield 2 as a public noob with the public guns. Then some people said to me, "Oh, there's a professional league called ESL." Then I began to play there, and then after a few years, I recognized, oh my God, there are so much more young talents. I cannot anymore compete with them. And then I said, okay, let's try the team manager position. And with this time, Call of Duty 4 became big. So I started with Call of Duty 4 team managing in Germany, Team Germany and stuff. And with the dad of Call of Duty 4, I definitely said, yeah, I like esports. I want to stay in this community. And then I asked some organizations to maybe have a role as assistant. And then I landed at Meteor Makers. And I was there nearly 3 years, and I was working for them full time. Yeah. And now I said, okay, let's try something else. And beside, just saying behind Support Crew, there's a real-time company. There's my company, and I said, okay, now you got again a chance. Let's do something again in esports.
Thomas,
Yeah.
your turn.
Yeah, I started playing League of Legends because of my brother and some friends. We played for fun, loads, and at one point I realized I'm not that good, so I decided to support a team, like because in the German Pro Series it's not that expensive to support a team for the Pro Series. So I checked Go for Lords for teams which reached higher ranks, and then I picked up a team. We started working together, and then some of the team got an offer of Game TE, which was a quite big organization in Germany.
It's a server provider, right?
It's still a provider, yeah, but they don't have
Same
an
server, okay.
yeah. So I went with them because they wanted me to, and so I was there for like 2 Pro Series seasons. It's like half a year, and after that I had a talk with Mazet, who was in Mousebots, and he offered me to manage his new international team, which was with Kuja and Youngberg. So that was the first time I met Youngberg. We played the qualifier on LCS in January, and we failed that. Then we tried to bring up a new team, and it didn't went well, so they got disbanded. I was still working for Mousebots and supporting another team for the Pro Series, and then in July, Youngberg came back and asked me if I want to join Wolves with him and to manage that team, and yeah.
That's great. That's great. Apparently, you were the Go for Law admin at one point.
Yeah, I was like 1.5 year ESL admin, doing like Go for Laws and
How did that
answering
go?
tickets. There was one story that was like funny because there was one guy who was flaming a lot and he got reported in tickets many times. So I gave him penalty points, and so he got banned for like 2 weeks. And the one day later, I played a normal game, and he was in the opponent team. So I got a little big flame in game. I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I checked his name, and I was like, "Oh, it's him."
Oh god, that's brilliant.
You won that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won that.
What
Like,
did he say?
feed me. I need to beat them.
Did he say if I beat you, you won't ban me?
No, he was playing with his friend, like flaming me the whole time, and we try hard the whole game, like to win that.
No, I guess you said better lose or you get more penalty points.
Yeah.
No Go for Law for you. So, Sascha and Fred, this question is more towards you, which is, how has your life changed now that you're managing an LCS team. Has it changed a lot? Has it been a surprising change, or is it just same old, same old? Go to work, come home, go on computer.
Now, it costs much more time. I just can give you an example. Um, with all this, I started with the support crew. It was like really, really stressy, and it's now even also stressy. But I'm getting gray hair.
Oh,
It's so hard. Yeah, and yeah, as I said, the whole difference is a team manager, of course, has also many, many tasks, but acting as CEO, you have to care about people, you have got human resource, you have to care about sponsors, and then you have to find also at the very first moment the right people you can put your trust on. And I finally found also some people then, and it's getting more and more down. So, yeah, but for the moment, of course, it's a little bit stressy, but that's esports. I mean, if you got Asia, you got EU and US, and you cannot separate it. Yeah.
what about? Well, no, I understand.
What's so funny?
It is stressful. No, I remember back when I was doing, God knows what I was doing, managing. It was very stressful. I remember a player now who I met, but like I played in this Alienware tournament, and this other team tried this retarded thing on us, where they didn't turn up, and then they wanted to disqualify us for not turning up when they didn't turn up, and apparently they had pictures like photoshopped a player in, and it was just like, what? But no, you know, a job's a job. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. But what about?
The
Yeah.
whole difference is again, if you work somewhere at a company, you get your 8 hours a day, and you do probably a job or a task you don't like. In esports, you do.
So,
as I said, yeah.
Do you do a job as well? Do you have a job outside
No.
of? No. Okay, so this is.
I'm working at a marketing company beside, but I do like 50% this, 50% that, and because we found their solution to cooperate together. So at this company, I do mostly, of course, esports.
Okay. Okay, no, that's actually it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is that good for you, or is there anything like no? Are you enjoying it? Is the question. Do you enjoy that or?
You mean me?
Yeah, yeah,
Who?
yeah, yeah,
Me.
yeah,
What do I enjoy? Doing esports.
yeah. Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, of course I like it. As
Of
I
course.
said, it's from hobby
Yeah.
to making it into a real job.
Okay.
It's a passion.
It's the passion. It's the passion for everyone. Passion that everyone wants to get into. Everyone has the passion for it. What about you, Thomas? It seems like LCS hasn't really changed you that much, considering you're sitting really cozy in your chair.
I changed a bit because after you come from work, you're like a part-time mother for your team.
Is that managing? Being-
Kind of. No. You come from work and then you do your managing stuff. Check your chats, emails, and stuff like that. So that takes time too. So it's like from your free time, it's like the half is gone for the managing thing, and then you have a bit free time to do your own stuff.
So, how does you do your work, right? Do you completely block out everything else, or do you still like on your phone, ready just in case, you know?
If I get messages on my
amazing
phone,
is like I need some help. I need right now, and you're at work.
For example, like I give the players always an info sheet about with addresses and stuff like that when they travel.
Yeah.
And then Unlimited calls me like, "What was the address?" And I was like, "I gave you a paper." So
I gave you a paper.
yeah. So yeah,
That's
then I have
esports.
to message him the address again and stuff like that. But that's okay.
Yeah. What about yourself, Joe? You seem kind of annoyed. Do you get phone calls from players? Do you get bugged by them at the really like inconvenient times?
sometimes you have to call them.
God. And
Actually, a lot you have to call them. Like even if you're at work. Like when I started, I was studying.
Yeah.
But obviously, like now I'm working, so um, I, it's not too bad for me because I co-own a business with my dad. So it's quite flexible. And my dad doesn't mind if I just, go outside to make a phone call quickly, or if I sit there on my phone and just sort a problem out. God bless smartphones, I guess.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Did you say are you in education right now, Joe?
No, I'm finished now, but
Oh, okay.
I was when I started.
Okay. So, uni or just end of college? If you want to answer that.
College, yeah, college.
Okay.
Like, okay, yeah, like I was doing catering and
Yeah.
hospitality in college, and yeah, now I'm, I guess, full-time chefing slash front of house managing. So
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
well, yeah, it's like, well, you could say
Yeah.
full-time, but I mean, as in like English full-time hours, and then like when I'm home,
You're home.
obviously it's straight
Different
on the
person.
PC. Like yeah,
Yeah.
straight on the PC.
I think that's another factor because a lot of managers are pretty young as well, and they're in education and whatnot, and sometimes they just don't have the time during school hours or work hours, and it just becomes really inconvenient for everybody. Um, but chefing, you said. So can you cook?
Of course, I can
You
cook.
can cook. Okay, so if let's
Okay,
say
no,
SK
stop.
Prime.
Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. If they manage to get next time in LCS, we all meet at Cologne and you will cook.
It depends how many people. Like only one person to X amount of people, of course. But like you could, honestly, this you can put me on the spot. Like
We'll
if
let you
it's not
cook.
so many people, I can cook.
We'll let you
I've got
cook
no
for the
problem. It's
whole of
my
the
job.
LCS.
No,
That
forget that.
that
If it was me and my dad, then maybe because he's the boss. But um, like alone, of course not. It's too many people.
we'll let you cook for the whole of LCS, and
Uh,
we'll all enjoy it. We'll be one happy people. So basically,
And do the catering.
what you're trying to say is, if SK Prime get into LCS, they don't need to worry about hiring a cook for the house.
you wouldn't probably need to hire one anyway, but like it's quite expensive having a private chef. But
It's fine. You can.
like like when you're cooking all day at work, you don't want to go home and cook as well. And plus, maybe I could kind of teach them to cook so they can just cook for themselves, so I don't really have to do that much.
Or you cook for them at your
I
restaurant.
don't. I've got
Thing.
no. Yeah, well, like yeah, or just like if you got the cash and nice sponsors, like go take them to the restaurant all the time. Why would you? Like a lot of teams get food money anyway, so why wouldn't you use it?
Okay. A question in the chat by fan13212 whatever. Who do you think is your star player of the team, and why is he the star?
Yeah,
I'm not
for us,
answering first.
Who wants to go first?
I'm not answering first. No.
for me, I like all players of our team. But I guess Forgiven has the most fan base, like 8K fans on Facebook or stuff like that. And I guess the whole Creek fan base is like going crazy for him. Yeah. So I guess he's the star player
So,
of our
just
team.
Youngbuck because of the fan base.
No, Forgiven.
Oh, sorry. I was reading something
Forgiven
else.
has a big for me all the
Sorry. I was
star
reading
players.
something else, and someone was saying something about Youngbuck, and I was like, okay, yeah, Youngbuck. Oh. Sorry, yeah, Forgiven.
Oh, you read the other question there with a hair?
Yeah, that's what I was reading. Shall I ask that question?
we have counted for that. He has a lot of hair, so.
Oh god. Okay, so Forgiven because of the fan base.
I guess, yeah.
Joe, would you like to go
But he's new in the professional scene, so.
Okay. Well, he had a very good what's the word? Entrance into the professional scene, especially with that
For example, like
Enter Kill.
Youngbug is the old lion, like
And the rest of them are just wolves, of course. Let's
yeah,
put it that way. They're all animals.
yeah.
I can put it. Joe, would you like to go next, or would you like to go last?
I don't mind.
This is where you
It's not it's not really that you have a star player. Like everybody in the team has their moments, you know. He'd kill me if I didn't say it. So I'll say Niels, but the player with the biggest like fan base in our team is Mozilla, you know. You know, everyone in my team makes plays. Like the first game against an IP, Steve or Six, it was like mad life, you know. So like the every player in the team makes plays at certain moments. If you were like to have to call a star player, you'd probably base it off your fan base because like the individual fan base, and obviously Mozilla brings like 5,000 Czech fans with him every time, you know, or whatever. So yeah, you couldn't really call it.
Sasha?
Yeah, I just can agree on this because like everyone of the player gets something special. One is good at public relations, the other one is good at doing advertisement.
Okay, but you have
other
to
gets some
pick
skill.
one.
Oh
You
no,
have to
I don't
pick
have
one.
to because I
Your
like everyone.
personal favorite. You have to pick one.
My personal
you
favorite. No.
It's
If
Fali.
if Fali would play in the team, Fali.
Your team is in the chat right now. Do you
I
want
know.
one happy team or do you want one very sad
No,
team?
maybe one is gonna love me, the other four is hating me, so I prefer for normal votes. No, I don't have anyone who I really like most.
No? Okay.
I like
So sad.
that like
We like all players.
yeah, of course. Like but on a serious side, if it was apparent like that you were like treating a player with favoritism, then it's obviously going to cause like friction between you and your players as well. So, I suppose if a manager did, he shouldn't really show it.
Shouldn't show it.
Yeah, if he did.
No, that's a fair shot. That's a fair way of going about everything. Another question in the chat. Do you think that League of Legends will still exist in 5 years? This is one that I've pondered over many a time. Or will it be bigger? And will it be bigger and even maybe an official sport? What are your viewpoints on this?
You cannot say it because you have to compare with other games. If you watch StarCraft 2,
Yeah.
Asia, South Korea, it's possible. Yeah. You cannot see how the trend is changing or developing. You cannot expect it. There's no chance. But of course, we hope that League of Legends will continue like it is. But trends are always changing, and if right one time is not targeting this new trend, it's maybe could be over. But you saw it in USA. League of Legends got an official sport, and why shouldn't be also it possible for Europe? I think there is just one single missing link, which is getting more and more to the point when we achieve it. And when we achieve this point, more and more companies will recognize this market and invest in it. That's a good point. Yeah. But as I said, you cannot expect it. League of Legends just put a milestone. If personally, currently, just with League of Legends, it's possible to reach the next milestone. That's my personal opinion.
Actually, a guy in the chat just mentioned Coca-Cola coming into to League. Obviously, there was no really good amateur infrastructure previously. Like obviously, Riot did their own one, but there wasn't any well, I wouldn't say there wasn't any like. You were really overshadowed marketing wise, like compared to the LCS teams. Like when all players are from the same country, it helps, but when your players aren't that famous and you're just more like a bunch of talented players who nobody really knows, then if you're not like in LCS where people, think you've proven yourself, then it's quite hard to promote yourself. But now with big sponsors like Coca-Cola coming in and adding like infrastructure and running challenger tournaments, it's really good seeing big names like that.
Tom, any viewpoints on League of
Mm.
Legends? Do you think? Personally, I've thought about like the time when League of Legends dies and how it'll die, and it's so hard to think. But the only way I can think of it, kind of going downhill, is if they do something to the game which is potentially bad. That's the only thing.
I guess Sasha said almost everything. Like, you can't say what will the future bring.
Yeah.
I guess Riot is working on it to make it better and bigger, but it can change from one day to the other. Like, there's a new game, like, bam, and then you're out.
I get a thought maybe you should think about. I mean, it's a question for, I think. Why is Riot doing the EU LCS in Cologne as the SHC Center? Why? I mean, SHC Center normally in Germany, they produce good shows like really popular and famous shows, which you see on main channels on TV. Why are
Doesn't
they
need good
doing it
shows.
there?
SHC?
Yeah.
Well-
Is it SHC Center, Thomas? Is it called like
What?
this? Where the arena of LCS. It's in Cologne.
MMC.
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 MMC, sorry. SHC, sorry. Why are they doing it there? I mean, maybe Riot is gonna develop like something, broadcasting it in television. You can say that. Maybe. You don't know. But why
Could-
are they doing it there?
Because the big television stations are based there too and produce
Yeah.
their shows there.
Yeah. Maybe we're gonna see that.
When are we gonna see that?
I want to answer this. I'm the false person.
No, I'm trying.
This Jarek guy is gonna ask so good questions. I don't know who that is, but the
I'm
question
trying to read
says
it.
so.
I'm trying to read it. Sponsors now have almost new insight on when a team stays within an organization or not. As at the moment, there isn't really a rule there. Do you think with Coca-Cola... Right, there we go. Here's the question. Do you think with Coca-Cola coming in also that part will become more transparent and professional? There are contracts, but buying out seems easy to do. That way, a team gets sponsors. But after a month, the players might leave, and so the sponsor pays money to an organization without a team. What?
Okay, so if I've understood this correctly,
Yeah.
like Riot have just implemented rules quite recently, if I'm not mistaken, about buying out teams and stuff like that. I think they put the block on buying out teams. I wouldn't know if any sponsorship had anything to do with that, but I felt like Riot did things quite professionally already the previous seasons. So bringing Coca-Cola into it when Riot are already running it doesn't really change much. I felt there was already a good level of professionalism there.
You know, in esports, normally people don't care about the contract. I mean, it's esports. Why should you care about the contract? I mean, if you want to have a change, Riot has to set the rules. Combined with the management, of the teams, because only with this solution you can guarantee that players stick in your team. For example, what is missing in esports? Something like UEFA in football. Some
Yeah,
board
yeah.
with controlling everything. You got Riot, they're doing League of Legends. You got Casper for StarCraft, but you don't have one big with changing and controlling everything, because you cannot control everything. There is no platform nor not any place where you can see so much teams are in esports. You don't have even these numbers. That's the point. So there has to be a transparent board. Because, right, of course, if there is a problem, they're gonna change the rules to their favor.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Someone is telling me that the problem in esports contracts is related to enforcements. Okay, I'm going to read exactly what he's saying. He's saying not UEFA. It's just a matter of enforcements. G7 tried, but it didn't work. So it's a matter of enforcements, and he wants to state that the question is from a guy called Daddy. So yeah. So would you say that it is enforcement, because you have contracts, but there is no enforcement behind the contracts? And what do you think is the best way to tackle that problem?
Well, I think Sasha already said it.
Yeah.
Bringing in a solid backing infrastructure, one who calls the shots.
Yeah, you have to see it from this side. I mean, yeah, totally. There has to be a transparent board behind it.
Yeah, like like here in the UK with football, for example, to play in any of the national divisions that you see on TV, you need to be an FA chartered club. You know, the Football Association. Yeah, like of the UK. So you need maybe. Well, I mean, Europe it's a bit hard because it's so multinational. But for example, for the States or Korea already have KESPA, and yeah, in the States they could have their own backing infrastructure like behind that as well.
I mean, even in the end, G7 was good, but of course, if you got a big tournament and you say, okay, this seven teams won't participate in this tournament because of reasons. That's of course a good aspect. But then the tournament host probably say, okay, let's take some other 7 teams. But personally, I think why it shouldn't be there not again another board where everyone is talking to each other and saying that's bad, but Riot is doing this. They are listening to the needs of the team managers. I'm not saying they don't. They are open for every mind, and they mostly or every time are changing and help. That's something really good about Riot. And you don't have this in any league like this.
Okay. Okay, so another question that's coming in, it's kind of just worded. The guy's literally just saying it to me. He's not phrasing the question, but he's saying, "Let's talk contracts. People sign a paper with almost no legal value. 2, few organizations do real work contracts, so it's usually just some name on a piece of paper that has, it's not worth anything. So how can anyone enforce it?" UEFA doesn't work here for a reason. UEFA doesn't enforce quote-unquote shit. UEFA sets rules, league rules. Eventually, they ban players if they leave clubs.
Well, yeah, I mean here, you can have contract penalties, and obviously, I think you answered your own question really. Like if the contract isn't legally credible, then how can you sign it? Like, I mean, you as a manager, obviously you can know so much, but you need to know you're responsible for like 5 other players who are going to sign that contract, you know? So you need to know yourself to a certain extent what you're getting your players into.
Just can I just can agree on that.
Me too.
So okay, you've all dealt with contracts as well. What's the process to getting contracts signed? How do you come up with contracts? Do you get them checked over by a legal person, a lawyer or some sort, or
This
Oh, God.
stuff. No, you couldn't. Like,
Of course.
I can't answer that.
I
you
mean,
can't answer
no?
that.
Of course. Okay.
of course, you just gonna go in Google and type player contract for League of Legends.
For
right?
LCS.
I mean, Riot is got the investment, the power, and the money to develop contracts like this. But it's also a point about the sponsors. So for smaller organizations, they don't got the money to, for example, create this. That's the main issue. You don't got any help from others. That's the point. There's, as I said, UEFA, something like some unique transparent boards who says there's just only one contract. You have like G7 that there was, as far as I can remember, on the internet platform of G7 there was a contract for accessible for everyone. You could download it and you don't then need any more costs for a lawyer. But of course, yeah, you definitely need nowadays a lawyer for contracts. There's so much money
Involved.
involved,
Yeah.
especially in LCS, and yeah.
So earlier you said that Riot, they are listening to you. That you're giving them advice and stuff. But how hold on. Yeah. So how cooperative? Like, I don't know if you can talk about it though. It's just it is a problem when we come into contracts, which is, do your players sign contracts with the organization first, and then they sign contracts with the LCS? Is that how it works? So there's a contract binding them to the organization saying you can't just leave the organization without so and so and so and so, and then there's a contract to the LCS, or is it just a contract?
That's um, the two contracts, they are not playing each other out. The
Okay.
contract from Riot is just the contract of Riot. It doesn't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to do anything with
Okay.
the organization. It's just about the rules, money, and stuff. And the other contract is just to keep the player at the team. And also, this niche which you got in the contract of an organization, these rules are also set at the Riot contract. For example, if you want to have a player, he wants to change team, you got it written down at your contract of the organization, and Riot also is gonna have this in their contract. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. Is there anything else you guys anyone else want to say anything about that before we move on?
No.
No?
No.
I mean,
fine.
yeah.
Contracts.
It's the
boring
same for
business.
us. So
Yeah. No, it's understandable. It's
I mean, at the end, both parties want to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
You want your money. The others want to see advertisement and.
okay. A question that came in: has there been anything funny to do with contracts in your time of managing? Has anyone tried to slip, kind of read a contract and be like, "Yeah, I can do this"? Is there anything? Has that ever happened?
no,
No problems with contracts.
no.
Yeah, of course. At the time, okay. For example, you got players from Russia and anywhere from Asia, and they say, "Okay, fuck you. I'm in Asia. What you can do from Germany? Send me some papers. They won't even come here to my place."
Wow. Okay, fine.
I'm not joking. They think they are safe, and they are safe, but they are true. You can't do anything. At the end, you have just the cost of your lawyer, and yeah, that's as I said, that's the main issue. Everyone is doing what he wants at the end.
Okay, so as we draw the show to a close, we'll have some quick questions for everyone. Thomas, what kind of time frame are we looking at for Copenhagen Malls to have a gaming house by?
Daddy?
Daddy.
I don't know. It depends on the owner.
Depends on the owner?
She's on vacation at the moment, so
Oh, okay.
we don't get a reply every day. So
God.
It's not funny actually. It's so hard.
what?
I think we got the same problems. We had the same problems.
So maybe you're looking
No,
for
I
the
didn't.
same house.
Oh
No.
dear.
No.
Wait, can you give it to Copenhagen Malls first, please?
No. We don't got any woman contact person.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you just share a big house? Oh.
Because there's no
Yeah.
Put the money together and share like a massive house.
No one would sell a house to two teams like that
yeah,
big.
okay. Okay, if you
12
do that,
people?
what do you do if after 3 months the other team drops out? What do you do then?
You just get another team in.
And
During
if you
the
can't find
running
one,
LCS.
Because,
and then if you can't find one, then
no,
what?
because whichever team replaces them, they'll
then
be
you
looking
put
for a
in-
house, and you'll be like, "Here, come.
No,
we have
then
a
you
house.
put-
We
then
have
you get
ready for you."
then you get a 10-room mansion, and then suddenly you have
So
to put in 5 Polish workers who are on construction.
Then you run some house parties and earn money on that.
Yeah, every night. Every night.
Every night,
That's
while
a
the
good
others
one.
play in the other room.
That's a good one. Can you tell us a bit about the afterlife? The nightlife of managers and players. What do you guys get up to in your free time?
Oh, my
Do
free
you
time.
chill? Do you chill? Do you go clubbing? Do you like?
What
Yeah.
is free time?
I'm at the I'm always
You're just boring. Just nothing.
Nah. I talk to my girlfriend mostly. Spend time with my girlfriend. That's it.
Screw you guys. So many hours spent with men. Needed to talk.
Yeah, like you obviously need like the interaction with others just for, I suppose you could say sanity. It's not sanity, but like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, of
if you're working outside of esports and then you come home, you're working in esports, and it's like the same system. It's so tedious. You need to have outside interaction as well, like, and it's healthy as well to have that outside interaction.
No, nothing else, Sasha. You're well dressed. Like, you're trying to tell me that you don't do anything fun in your free time?
Of course. I'm originally from nearly Munich, and next to Stuttgart there's a place called Nagold. And for example, Karl Naim, the CEO of Meteor Makers, is living there. And he showed me his place, and it's quite nice because there is a really nice hotspot. It's called Multiculti.
Yeah.
It's a really,
What-
really, really good bar.
What's
And-
multiculti in English?
Oh.
Multicultural.
Okay, fine. I thought it meant something else.
And yeah, it's just like a bar or something where you can dance, and it's like really much fun. I spent like so much funny times there, and also Sebastian and Fali was there, for example, at my birthday.
Yeah.
Unforgettable moments.
So, you don't spend time with players at all, doing stuff like this?
I will be at Friday at Cologne.
Mm.
There I will.
Me too.
Yay.
Okay.
I won't. Yay.
Okay.
Joe won't.
Too bad.
Yay.
No, I'll be in
Are you-
UK.
Are you gonna go at any point?
Only if we have the need to.
Oh, really? Okay. No. That's fine.
Obviously, like I'll go over to Germany, but to Cologne specifically, only if I have a need to.
Okay, so while we draw the show to a close, a lovely close. We'll go from left to right. We'll start with Thomas this time. What are you guys going to be doing? Any further announcement? Any news? Any shout-outs that you want to do?
There's nothing special we will do in the future, so I just
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, we
So-
just win our games and then
That's also a good plan. You don't
Yeah.
have to change anything as long as you do this.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, that's it.
Gaming House will be coming soon.
I hope so.
So, Joe?
Shout outs or
Yeah, feel free. Shout-outs.
yeah, shout outs to our sponsors, Medion Intel, ASRock, Kingston Gamed, and is it Big Ben? Yeah, Big Ben. A shout out to my girlfriend, and that's it. A shout out to my team, of course.
You still haven't said which player is your star player.
Of course, there is like I have no favorite. Honest God, I
They're
have
all
no
star
favorite.
players.
They're all star players in my eyes. Yes,
They're all
they
star
are all
players.
star players in my eyes.
They're brilliant players. Sasha.
Yeah, well, I just can say thank you for the nice meeting here. It was really fun. I hope we can repeat it, but of course I have to do also now some shout outs. And now I guess to Woo.
Steve,
No. Funny.
Fali.
No, but funny. Of course, our new partners, Team Storm, Jap and Gert, who were watching the stream also. And we're gonna announce hopefully some new partners this week if we manage it. But I'm certain. And also another big shout out to my girlfriend who is watching it. And anyone else who I forgot. But just thank you for the invitation.
No problem. Fali was meant to be here, but unfortunately he couldn't come. So I'm actually happy that
I
you-
hope I replaced him really well. Next time I want to do it with him.
Okay, fine. We'll make it next time. We'll make it next time, and it'll be better. It'll be better than this. Okay, so right, my turn to do the shout-outs. Let's see if I can do this right in one go, because I meant to say your names and everything. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. The next show will hopefully be next week. We have encountered some problems. I brainstormed a lot of who I actually wanted on the show, and it went from 1 to 1 to 1, and this is pretty much like, I'm really sorry guys, like if this sounds bad, but this is literally the last course for me, which is kind of why I had a really slow start. I didn't have a lot of time to think about it, but I was just like, you know what would be great? Getting managers on, because people don't really see or know about managers and how much time and effort they put in. From like, everyone sees the players and the players are at the front, but behind every great, what's the saying? Behind every great man is a great woman. So behind every
yeah.
behind every great team is a great management department. So that's what it is. But the next show will be sometime next week. Another problem that I had was scrim times as well. So we have to try and kind of work our way around it. But other than that, thank you very much thank you to my guests for coming on. You're brilliant.
Thank you.
No problem.
Without you, it'd just be me, and I know people don't. And thank you to, of course, that. And let me see these shout-outs. Let's go. I want to say thank you very much to our sponsors, Komplett, Cooler Masters, Steel Series, and Obuto. Am I missing anything?
No.
Good. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Thomas. And if you want to find more information about Copenhagen Wolves, feel free to follow us on our Twitter, which is @CPHWolves. If you want to follow any of these lovely people on the show, if you really like them, feel free to follow them on Twitter. Thomas, your Twitter is
Schmanfred.
Schmanfred. Joe?
SK_InnerFlame.
And Sasha, you really need to make one.
No.
You'll hit it big.
No, I just want to support my team. I don't need one. You can check my email.
Okay. So
No, please, guys, follow Super Hot Crew at Twitter and Facebook. We need some likes, definitely.
and also don't forget if you want to follow SK Gaming, you can follow them at
SK Gaming.
SK Gaming. That was your cue, Joe. That was your cue.
Yeah, sorry.
My team.
Follow SK Gaming, the Facebook page, the Twitter page, and we have quite a interactive forum as well. So if you want to head on over there and interact, then go ahead.
And also, lovely content director has posted in the chat. Because without him, you guys won't be able to see what we're doing. His Twitter is in the bottom right-hand corner. It is Aspheria. Ow, my eye. So feel free to follow him as well. If you have any suggestions for our next show, just tweet, Facebook, Reddit, anything. But I am Talha, the small guy. My Twitter is @thesmallguy_. Thank you very much, Fally, as well. We all love you. We'll get you on at some point. Once again, guys, thank you so much for coming on my show and being lovely guests.
Thank you.
Thank you.